Ako ay si Mayari, may-ari ng aking sariling pangarap. Since I was little, I would look up and I'd dream of becoming the moon. In Tagalog mythology, Mayari was the daughter of Bathala, the king of the gods, to a mortal woman. Mayari is the goddess of combat, war, revolution, hunt, weaponry, beauty, strength, night, and the moon. She is also the goddess of revolution and the right to equal rule. Hey everyone, welcome to my show. We've been in lockdown, quarantine for about 3 months now. March, April, May, June, March, April, May, June, 5 months? What the fuck? We've been in quarantine for so long now. I decided that I'm gonna give you my show. Here I am. This is me. Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Welcome to 5ft.Lumpia, formerly known as Expressive AF Asian Face as Beep. I've decided to change it to 5ft.Lumpia because that is more specific to me, Kayla May Paz Suarez. Did you know that a lumpia, I have no facts for you. I have no facts. But I changed it to 5ft.Lumpia because I feel like connecting to food and the easiest way to connect to culture is to connect to food. And a lot of people know what lumpia is in terms of Filipino food. So lumpia, me, because it's a perfect snack. It is a perfect representation of what a Filipino person is. It is a golden brown. They come in different shapes and forms, but the Shanghai lumpia, which is what I'm referring to, is short, teeny tiny. On this season of 5ft.Lumpia, we are trying to decolonize my narrative and maybe my diet. Oh, I did it! And maybe my diet. Thanks for tuning in. You probably have nothing else to do now that you're sitting in front of your screen. But I appreciate your love and support or your hate and judgment. But yeah, enjoy the episode. I am still in Connecticut. My burn is healing. This episode is called Wepa and Mabuhay. And that's what this episode is called. So thanks for tuning in to Wepa and Mabuhay as a part of 5ft.Lumpia. See you at the end. You ever look at someone and you wonder, how did this happen? Also, wow, I'm lucky. Also, damn, I've come really far. Well, before I met Ed, I was praying to the moon and asking for guidance and for a partnership that I could call my own and that no one could question me by, and that I could be happy and I could do all the things that made me happy, like eat popcorn and grow plants and dance in my living room and go on long car rides and maybe work out, but not really work out, just watch you work out and dance in my living room and get to know my stones and crystals and manifest more wonderful things and watch other people teach and all these things I asked for. Really, I was praying for love. And really, what I got were a bunch of challenges. The past 2 years have been challenging, and I can't say that they've all been wonderful. But I will say that I have grown so much, and growing by someone's side is probably, honestly, the most beautiful thing about life. is just being able to watch things grow, watch people grow, watch myself grow. It's been a beautiful year of manifestations and visualizing, and I'm glad that I'm here with someone who really appreciates and loves me, all because I was guided. Well, Ed was off to LA, was probably not off to a good start, and in a few months' time, we were packing his car up again so that he can join me at my mama's house. We came across a couple challenges, as usual, like ordering a mattress that we could eventually have when I moved down there. And then, of course, COVID happened. So the best thing for us to do is to take a step back, to move back home with my parents, and to make that change that was necessary for all of us. We're very good at being uncomfortable. And honestly, I'm really glad that he is very good at being uncomfortable. I just thought that this was just this feeling that I would have my entire life. Turns out other people feel it too, including Ed. So here we are, trying to do the uncomfortable, like stuff a mattress in the back of a car. Clearly this wasn't going to work. Eventually we had to restart, just like moving to Oakland and moving back home. And we had to unpack the car, put the mattress on the other side, and eventually it would get done. But what's life without any lessons? So here we are, taking it the second time, slowing down, and trying to get everything in one place. Before that, it was just a conversation. I remember having this conversation and thinking, oh, for crying out loud. I asked for love, but I didn't mean a person. Who was I kidding? In the beginning, I really didn't think that anything was going to work out. I had just met Ed because he replied to an Instagram message I sent him after he liked a bunch of my photos, and then was like, hey, I'm doing this thing. Could you pretend to be this character in this series that I'm filming for myself? I promise it'll be super low-key and fun, and I'll buy you a drink and super chill. And then, of course, he was like, hey, let's watch a bunch of movies. And then, of course, Jasmine was like, hey, I think you and Ed rhymes with bed, and here we are, packing a car with a mattress that we bought together. It's crazy what life brings to you when you ask for it, when you really put that energy towards something, and when you really accept and are willing to allow what's out there to come to you. I am a complete firm believer in the way that energy flows and the way that we are the masters of our lives, and I don't think this was an accident. I don't believe in accidents. And moving back home is probably exactly what I needed, again, in my life, to learn a lesson I did not learn the first time, which is probably getting rid of all the stuff I don't need anymore. And once I'm done doing that, then I'm going to help Ed on his journey for getting rid of the things that he doesn't need anymore. Sometimes these things aren't material. Sometimes they're memories. In the middle of COVID, we flew to Connecticut, and I'm still in Connecticut. We celebrated a few birthdays. We are enjoying the scenery, and I'm seeing a part of the country that I've never seen before, not like this. And it's really interesting being able to reflect on the conception of a place where people came to start a new life and the disregard for the life that was already here. I feel like this happens a lot. And we are seeing now that the powers at be aren't really the powers at all. And all of that lies within all of us. This one time when we went to LA for my birthday, a couple years ago, I had this dream that I was in a plane or in a ship, and I kept repeating the mantra, we shouldn't be in the sky, we shouldn't be in the sky, we shouldn't be in the sky. We're not meant to fly, we're not meant to fly, we're not meant to fly. And I don't know what the land was telling me back then, but I almost felt like my spirit, or a part of my spirit, was up above me, and I was trying to find a way to get back down to the earth. So here we are. Let me tell you, I have been impressed by the beaches in the East Coast. I honestly didn't think that I would enjoy it, but they're so beautiful and the water is so warm, and it's just been a beautiful time to be outside. Except, you know what I learned? If you go to my blog, I tell you about the time I burnt my arm. So, in the beginning, you saw that I was bald. And here's Ed, shaving my head bald. Here's what I learned. Lighting a fire from a liquid lighter on a grill is a bad idea, because liquid lighter has liquid in it and your hand will probably catch on fire. I learned my lesson the hard way. I'm never going to do that again. But I will say, I don't want to say bald because I'm not bald, but having a shaved head feels amazing. I honestly have never felt more confident than I do now.
You look so beautiful.
For the first time, I think I'm finally seeing this country for what it really is. And I don't mean the racism that's always existed. I don't mean the capitalism that is ruling immigrant families and many other people in this country. But I mean the trauma that this land is holding, and just how much nature really does have to teach us, and how we have been silent, and we have been ignorant, and we have been foolish to think that we could survive without it. So I'm finding ways to reconnect back to the land. I'm finding ways to reconnect back to my own roots, to reconnect with my inner child. And I hope that in this time, you're all finding ways to do the same as well. That is the end of this inner monologue. I hope that you enjoyed watching the visuals that I've collected over the past few months, few years really. The collection of Wepa and Mabuhay, which in a dream world would be a real life story of me and Ed, or a Puerto Rican and a Filipino couple making the world happen around them. Okie dokie, here I am listening to the land. I love you, I miss you, I'll see you soon. You'll see other Kayla May at the end, and yeah. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that episode. So I just wanted to kind of break down, um, I was gonna say geographics, the geography of of my travels. Look, I have the United States in the palm of my, or in my hands. Okay, so we are in Connecticut, which is crazy. We travel to the end around Cape Cod area. This is fun. I could never do weather. Ooh. Last week. So we're here, and Ed flew all the way here to California. And we met and fell in love and fun things. So yeah, it's kind of cool to see like the map of where things or of how things came to be. I look like I'm wearing oven mitts. Of how people have migrated, Ed in particular migrated. And just in comparison, like look at how huge California is compared to all of New England and the rest of this chunky part of the country. Anyways, I've been doing a lot of reflecting. You can find that reflecting on my blog, on my website. Other than that, I'm going to continue to put out episodes, and I'm going to play around with this green screen, and I'm going to kind of talk about my collected knowledge of where I come from, of where I am now, and everything that and processing out loud everything that is happening in the world, in terms of like dismantling settler mentality, decolonizing your mind, body, spirit, all those really fun things, decolonizing gender and aesthetics and appearances, and everything that we have been conditioned to learn over time. So just really fun stuff, just really easy, fun stuff. Okay, I'm gonna stop now because I feel like I've just been talking to myself. So peace out, because I have been talking to myself. Peace out. I love you. I hope you're taking care of yourself, and I'll see you on the other side.